it is in all its glory. Lots of stickers and lots of tape. I bought this from Amazon Canada. They said there was 7 left in stock, and turns out they had the stock in Kentucky, and it went from Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, finally across the border to somewhere near Toronto, halfway between Toronto and London, and then finally to London, and finally down to me. That took about, a little over a week, 8-9 days. Okay. I love these Indio bags. As far as gig bags go, wow. You can really count on them. They're well padded. Around to there. Okay. We have the candy. For free bags, these are, I think, the best I've had guitars come in. And there goes the cellophane bag. That didn't stick as much as other ones have. Got the little switch protector. Alright, at first glance, so far so good. Of course I don't have my glasses on. Can't remember if I had a good enough look to see what kind of strings that might be in the back of it. Not the Darios. Okay. I had the impression when I bought this that it was black on black, that the pickups and everything was all black, 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 but I like that it's white on the black. Of course, the strings are set at the top of the saddles. I think they set these up high for 2 things. To mask any of the buzzing that goes on the frets. And these are small frets on this fretboard. And they don't want these set screws too high up the top, because they're the cheap ones that come on there. They're very sharp on the edges, and when you put your edge of your hand on it, it scratches or cuts you. Yeah, the neck feels nice on the back. Satin. People say they hate the Indio thing, but I don't care. It looks okay to me. They can call it whatever classic they want. It has a number on the back, like a serial number. It says made in China. Alright, so let's hope Monoprice uses at least a good 2-wire sounding pickup like on the Donner. All the pickups are very, very low on the pick guard. And aesthetically it looks pretty good. There's those sharp butterflies on there. Just let me take a little twirl at these keys. I'd say there's about a quarter of a turn slop in that. This one is not. That one is. That one is. That one too. And that one about an eighth. So they're all a little bit different. They might be okay. But if not, you know what will happen to them. I'll snug them all up and tighten them down. I don't know what the fretboard is made of, but it's a nice dense wood. It looks something like what came on the Harley Benton Strat. This could be an Indian Laurel Rosewood, or there's another one that I can't think of the name of right now. The nut is okay from a, ooh, yeah, okay. Oh, I was stuck in there. Okay, a little bit tight. Alright, so let's look at the, so this is, you know, like a budget guitar. And you can see that the pickups are very far from the strings. Even if I do that, it really doesn't make a lot of a difference. String height is very high over the action over here. It's slower on the treble side, but of course they're not tuned to pitch. When you tune them up to pitch, they'll up themselves a little bit. And the nut height, this is, I think, what I could say is the lowest action I've ever had come in on a guitar over the first fret. It could be touching the first fret is what I'm thinking. So that might not be so good. The block in the back, of course, is really not a block. It's just one of those little thin ones. Pot metal, very light. The standard kind of stuff you get on guitars in this range. Jimmy Stewart, and if you guys haven't seen Jimmy Stewart's channel, he's got a really great channel, and he's out of Pennsylvania, and he has bought several of these Monoprice Cali Classics, and he gets the opportunity to go direct to Monoprice in the States. And he's demoed a bunch of them, and basically he's the reason I bought this. He finally sucked me in because he bought another one last week and demoed it. Edge of the nut is very sharp on both sides. It's likely plastic or ABS, and it's probably going to need to be replaced. And I'm going to try to tune it up to pitch, of course, and see if it will jump up a little bit over that first fret and not seemingly touch it like it is. So we'll see. The pick guard is a 1-ply, very thick pick guard. I don't know if you'll be able, yeah, there you go. So that's a 1-ply, very thick pick guard. Very unusual. I've never had one like that either. So yeah, so you know what the next step is. It's downstairs to my working room and see what we find there. Not bad with the black and white. Alright, let's see if we can do a little stretching of these strings, and oh, I got a lot of garbage in that can. Get it tuned up. Sharp. They're all sharp, so that means all the saddles will have to be moved back somewhat, and there is enough play in the springs to be able to do that. Everything up. Alright, off to the amplifier. I haven't touched anything. I haven't touched any of that stuff. Let me just check the nut action. You know, I think it's gonna work. It's exactly where I would have cut it myself. Too bad the nut is probably not gonna work for me. Anyway, let's go see what happens on the other side. Ooh, we'll get the chair up a little bit. Alright, let's do the fine tuning so I can see what's going on with the amp. Okay, let's find my Deluxe, Basic 65 Deluxe. Let's see what she sounds like. Yeah, it looks like the humbucker. Let's get that up a little bit. Humbucker is good. Middle. Not bad. Neck. And that's not bad, even though the pickups are still way too far from the strings. And yeah, I saw Jimmy, he says this is for the middle, that one's for the... So there's no tone for the bridge. I keep getting my pickups mixed up. Alright, so the word I couldn't think of when I was upstairs for this fretboard was amaranth. Fret edges are not bad. They just need a little bit of a touch up. The rolled edge is very nice. That'll improve also with the technique I'll use. Yeah, one of the best edges in a while. And this amaranth, once it's cleaned up and put a little lemon oil on it, it's going to be dark black. It's going to be really nice and shiny. This is very much like the fretboard on the Harley Benton Paisley. The tuners might be passable, we'll see. Obviously, of course, I prefer to have, if I'm going to have tones, I like to have the tone for the humbucker and the other tone for these two. That's probably something I will change. That's a connection of a wire. So yeah, the next thing will be actually doing some adjustments, and I didn't even check the truss rod adjustment, but let's see. Yeah, it's very flat. Oh, dropped my pick. It's very flat. There is no play at all. If anything, there might even be a slight back bow in there. And you know, that's okay. I like them to be able to play flat if I can get it that way, because that way the action up here around this third of the neck is quite comfortable to play. And you can, you know, put minimal amount of pressure on your strings when you're trying to do an instrumental. And you can find them, and you don't get your finger touching other strings that you might be wanting to play, you know, on another fret when they're too high here. So it's obviously too high there. And if I brought that down, these will start buzzing on the fretboard, which will be the case. So yeah, it'll need some adjustment, and I'm going to do all that prior to disassembly, and see what I can do. The switch doesn't feel as insignificant as some of the other ones I've had, the box switches. It's got a pretty good positive click to it, but I'm still biased against box switches anyway. Yeah, I hope, as from what I can see, there will be minimal amount of work to do on this guitar. Yeah, I may even enjoy those pickups the way they are. Alright, that's the out-of-the-box playability. Stand by for the next part of what happens to it when you want to set it all up. Back after the basic setup adjustments, and I have to tell you, I'm a bit wowed, because I got it set up. There are 4 64ths now. The nut action is, I couldn't have asked for it to be any better. And the pickups were actually a little bit too high on the treble end. Had to be brought down from where they were, because the strings were so high it made them look like they were really sunk into the pick guard. And then the bass side over here had to be taken down, and then this one had to be taken down. So they actually had to be taken down a little bit to get them at 1/8 and 1/16. And I went over the fretboard looking for buzzes. Didn't find any except for up here. And now that's disappeared. Maybe it's because I'm up in this position. So I checked with the fret rocker, and there's a few frets here and there that are, there's a tiny little bit of a rock in it, but as you can see, not enough to worth cutting them down at all, now that everything is in playable condition. The truss rod adjustment, it was backbowed, and I had to actually force the truss rod forward to get a little bit of relief curvature the other way. So usually it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but in this case it was lefty-to-tighty to get the relief I needed. So the neck is built a little bit too much backbowed in natural without the pressure on it, and then I had to put pressure to get it this way. Now it hasn't stabilized yet, because I mean I just was at the bench and then I'm back over here. The humbucker is bright compared to most humbuckers, and bright is good because you can add bass, but you can't take it out when it's built into the bucker. So you know, this is the first guitar with the best neck ever, from fret ends to level frets to pickups that sound pretty good. The tuners are better than the Zoo-Way, better than the Lightning. Whoa, way better than the Lightning. The Lightning was so sloppy, it was terrible. But yeah, Monoprice, right like that. Worth the money with just a setup, and I haven't done anything yet to the insides. I'm going to check the values of these, and I'll let you know. But I have to tell you, I am super impressed with this thing out of the box. So listen, there's a little demo tune coming up right behind this, and the full song will also be released on my site. Hope this is something that some people appreciate. I think I finally got a good one. Thanks for watching.